Welcome to the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Investing Podcast with your hosts, Jack and Michelle Bosch. Together, let's uncover the secrets to building true wealth through real estate and living a purpose-driven life.
Scaling your business in 2021. What do you need? What does it actually take? How do you even do it? That's what we're going to talk about today. So my name's David Van. I'm a full-time land flipper, and I love this. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's simpler, easier, faster, and cheaper than any other real estate method out there. It's easier to get started. If you got a small budget, you can do it too. And if you just never had experience in real estate, you can do this too. So that was one of the biggest reasons that I got started. Hi guys, I see everybody coming in now. That was one of the biggest reasons I got started, because all these methods, there's all these niches, there's apartments, there's houses, there's mobile homes, there's this and that. At the end of the day, that stuff takes a lot of money and there's a lot of competition, right? That's really what it is. So now getting started is one thing, right? Getting to the next level is exactly what this session is going to be about. So this is an amazing honor for me to do this. I'm really excited about doing this. I created a lot of notes about it. I know this is going to help. I wanted to talk about the top 10 method components that you need in your business today to scale your business, right? Now, everything I talk about today, we're going to be talking about in the Masterclass. So when I'm talking about this, I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you some tricks. And I'm even going to share a couple examples of stories of deals I've done with them. But we're also using that in the Masterclass event coming up. So if you're not signed up for that, you need to. You're missing out, because we're going to go into deeper sessions about this there. Okay? Awesome. Great. So number one, if you're taking notes, you should be taking notes. Number one component of your business that you absolutely need to scale: software. Everybody saw that coming, right? Everybody saw that coming. When I first got started, and I took the Maximizer, I tell the coaches there every time I've ever been in there, when I first got started and I took the Maximizer, I realized I was operating at 25% of my potential as an investor because I was not utilizing software. And I definitely wasn't utilizing it correctly. Right? I wasn't utilizing it. I wasn't using it for everything. So what software really does in your business is it makes everything easier and faster and consolidates, right? Now we're talking scale. We're all talking scale today, right? We're not talking acquisitions. We're not talking selling. We're talking scale. We're talking going from this to that. Big difference. This is really powerful, okay? So yeah, software. Super amazing, super critical, super important. You can't have a business without it, okay? Number two of the top 10 components to have in your business to scale in land business today in 2021, offer calculator, okay? So when I actually had I had a meeting with my transactional coordinator, and I was like, how long is it taking you to do an offer? And he said 30 minutes. And I did my math, and I was like, man, we can only do about, I don't know, like 5-6 offers a day? How can I get to about 30 offers a day? How can I get to 50 offers a day? You need an offer calculator. You need tools and software to do the work for you, right? And so that offer calculator is critical, super critical. Now, this is only number 2. We're actually going to get all the way up to number 10. So I got my notes. So I know you're going to take yours, right? Offer calculators, what offer calculators is doing is making it an easier process, because you might get frustrated. This might not be something that you like spending your time on. We're talking scale, right? We wanted easier, faster, consolidate, delegate, right? So super critical. Now, number 3 is one of my favorites on this list, because when I finally had like a real business and it wasn't just a hobby for me anymore, I told myself, I was like, man, I wish I did this earlier. And I know I've said this before, but you can't make a top 10 list without this. Okay, you can't make a top 10 list without it. All right. So buyer's list. Every single 7-figure and 8-figure investor that I know, that I talk to personally, that are personal friends of mine in the Land Profit Generator group here that I've had the honor of meeting, I asked them, one of the questions I really asked them, when you started your business, what was the one thing that you felt like you did earlier? And I'm going to say probably 80, 90% of them always tell this one thing, buyer's list. Why? Because you can sell it faster. You can sell it easier. At the end of the day, what we want are buyers. You can go get a deal. But if you don't know how to sell it and you don't have buyers for it, it's going to take you longer. You're not have the money coming in fast enough. A buyer's list is basically controlling the ecosystem of your buyers. The buyer's list, you can do anything. You can do text campaigns. You can do email campaigns. You can call them. You can tag them on certain properties. You can pitch them discounts. It's incredible. Everybody. That's also why every time you go into a store, you go into a movie theater, Walmart, Target, even restaurants nowadays, they're trying to opt you in to these little things, right? What they're trying to do is opt you into their buyers list because now they can target you. Okay? We're going to do the same thing. Okay? Super critical. All right? Now, before I get into obviously number 4, okay, number 4 is something that I get asked a lot of questions about because I'm obsessed with it. Okay? I would not be interested in land flipping if I couldn't do this next step in scaling. I wouldn't be interested in it because I don't want to be an engineer. I want to be a CEO. And if you want to have a business, the CEO that controls the business makes all the money, right? And they're not the ones doing all the work, right? I want to be the CEO. Do you want to be the CEO? Or do you want to be the engineer? Okay. If you want to be the engineer, a lot of these things that we're going to talk about today, you just might not be interested in, right? But if you want to take your business to the next step, if you want to scale your business in 2021, and if you want to hear more details about this in a masterclass, then you want to be a CEO. And you need to learn number 4, which is delegation. I'm going to give you a couple of tips about delegation. Okay. Number 1, there's all these numbers, right? I'm sorry. Delegation is super critical because what you're doing is you're breaking your business down into components. Like imagine like bubbles, right? And you're looking at this bubble and you're saying to yourself, is it better for somebody else to do this or is it better for me to do this? And almost 100% of the time, it's better for somebody else to do it because they have more time than you. Your time is more valuable than yours. I know what my time is worth. I know exactly to the dollar amount what my time is worth. So now I know that, hey, listen, if it doesn't meet this criteria right here, I'm delegating it. Okay? You have to give up this control. Give it up. Yes, your business yours. Yes, it is. You can control the components, but you also got to delegate. You have to get to 7 or 8 figures. You're never going to do it without delegation, okay? So if you want more tips on that, reach out to me. Go to the masterclass. We're going to be talking exactly about how to do that. But delegation is just, you can't run a business without it and make 7, 8 figures. You just can't, okay? Number 5, this is something that just illuminated me recently because I had a meeting with my team. And the way it works with my business is, for about a half an hour during the morning time, I have a little group meeting, right? Real quick. and I say, hey, listen, guys, this is the objective, da 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 da, and give them a action plan for the day, right? And then the night before, I kind of make notes to myself in like video format, record like a Zoom or like a Loom, and I'll say, I need admin doing this, I need sales doing this, I need transactional coordinator doing this, I need to update on this. And so a lot of times I'll either just show them the video or I'll just explain it to them, But when I was doing this, after a while, I go to them and I say, what can I do to make your job easier? How can you be more efficient? So number 5, empowering the people in your business. And we don't talk about this enough. So this is really why I wanted to talk about it today. Empowering the people in your business. Now, that's not just paying them more money. It might be getting them a software program. It might be teaching them how to access the assessor's report easily. It might be creating a Zapier for them to do X, Y, and Z. Okay? So on a weekly basis, actually on Mondays, I go to my team and I say, what do you need to be more efficient and better? What do you need? Like, tell me, what is it? Is it a webcam? Is it this? Is it that? Da, 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 da. Because if it's under $1,000, I'll just say done. Okay. So you have to take your business seriously. And if you're empowering the other people in your business, it's going to pay dividends. That much I promise. Okay. Number 6. This is really cool. So now we're talking more about making money. Okay. Number 6, following up tools, doing it for you. All right. The business that follows up the most wins. If you're taking notes, the business that follows up the most wins. Okay. So now, what does that mean? That means you could be following up with title. You could be following up with a realtor. You could be following up with your acquisitions. You could be following up with your scales. Those are pretty much the core 4 right there. Okay. You have to have a plan of follow-up for these core 4. Okay. Now, what's a simple method of making that easier for you? Right? Email campaign. Okay. Text campaign. Or put it on your schedule. Okay. These core 4 right here, you have to have a game plan for. We're going to talk about that in the masterclass, but it's really important. It's really important that you take that seriously, because where I see businesses failing today in 2021, that's probably one of the biggest ones right there. And you're not going to be able to scale without it, because you're not going to have more deals faster. And what these 4 things are doing is making the deal flow faster. So if you're home, you're driving, you're listening to this, and you might be thinking, what are some things that I can do to make this thing go faster? It's always going to be follow-up. It's going to be follow-up, and it's going to be more follow-up. Okay? Communication. Okay? Now, some tools that you might need for that, right? Zapier is really imperative for me. Zapier does a lot of that work for me. Okay. Zapier will give me email reports. Zapier will give me text reports. Zapier connects 2 widgets together so that I don't have to communicate between 2 widgets, right? So having a schedule for your follow-up and and that's like systematizing your follow-up is extremely important, because that's just all that's going to do is make your deals go faster and faster and faster. Okay. All right. Now we're actually talking 8-figure stuff right now, because a good friend of mine is making about I shouldn't say how much he's making, but let's just say it's mid 8 figures. Okay, mid 8 figures a year. What he said to me was, he said, David, you got to make more offers. He said, you just got to make more offers. And I fell in the habit of getting deals and then selling deals, getting deals and then selling deals. And what he said was, you got to make more offers and you got to delegate that task, right? He's like, you got to hire a delegation tool to just make more offers. He's like, once you build this business up to scale it, to get more acquisitions coming in, you're going to have to make more offers. Now, it could mean that you need to spend more time training your staff on how to do that, or it's the follow-up, or you're doing more mailers, or you're reaching out to your buyers list more, right? At the end of the day, you're going to have to make more mailers, and that's probably going to make you the most money on this list of the top 10 scaling methods that we need in 2021 with LPG. That's probably going to make you the most money. Okay. Now, number 7, which is one of my favorites. Okay. I have a saying in my business: if it's free, it's for me. Okay. I have a saying: if it's free, it's for me. Right. Now, the land profit generator method of double closing, it just can't be topped. It's just simple as that. You can't beat it. Okay, guys? So if you're listening to this anywhere, if you're not doing the land profit generator method of double closing, what you're doing is you're costing yourself time, you're costing yourself money, and probably a lot of stress, because it's really stressful to pay $20,000 for a property and cross your fingers and hope that it closes. What if something goes wrong? That's really scary. I don't want to position myself like that. I don't want you to position your business like that. Bad all the way around. So really, when I first got started with land flipping, when I discovered Jack Bosch and the LPG method of closing deals, I was like, man, you could do unlimited deals that way, right? So absolutely imperative. Like you can't do 20 deals a month without the LPG method. You just can't, right? If you are, you're spending a lot of money and you're crossing your fingers and you're putting a lot of stress on your back. And that's just scary. You know, I'm stress-free. I want you to be stress-free. Stick with what works, guys. Stick with what works. The other thing that I really like about this method is that you empower a realtor and a title agent to be experts, and they deal with it. When you're dealing with a title agency, the one thing I love telling a buyer or a seller is, you know what I say to them? My favorite thing to say to them is, that's what title agent does. They take care of that. That feels so good. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about it. Right? So if you're trying to scale your business, you gotta be double closing deals. You gotta be using the LPG method of closing those deals. Super, super critical. You gotta start doing them, and you gotta do them today. Okay? I can just go on for hours about it. There's less risk. The risk is your time, right? The risk is your time. And hey, listen, if you don't close it, you might frustrate the title agent a little bit, but that's it. That's really it. I don't want to buy a property. Well, actually, one time I did. I bought this property in Arkansas. I think I got it for like $300, and I was selling it for $6,000. And I just thought that was just so awesome. But you know what? You know what happened? They couldn't get to the property. Okay? The buyers couldn't get to the property because that road was like all washed out. So it was like all mud and everything like that. So I don't know what happened to that property. You know what I did? I did sell that property, but that was embarrassing. That caught me with my how do I put this? By surprise is a better word for it, right? Now, if that was like a $30,000 deal and I had bought that, luckily I only got it for like $300. I'd have been stuck. And I would have been scared, and that would have ruined my business, right? So how much budget do you have? How much money do you have? How much assets and resources do you have delegated to your business? Because if you're devoting all of them to that, and if anything goes wrong, you're in a bad position, and business is all positioning, okay? All right, number 9, and I'm going to tell you a really good story with this. I'm going to tell you a really good story with this. Having a mentor. Now, I love Ty Lopez. I love Grant Cardone. I love, Napoleon Hill. There's so many people I love, and they always revert back to, you need a mentor. It's not because like you're not smart enough or you can't do it on your own. What it's really doing is it's saving you a lot of time, right? Perfect example. I just was closing a deal, and the realtor sent me this contract, and it was a lot of pages, and I didn't understand it, and I'm not a contract expert. And I emailed it over to my mentor. He emailed me back, and he picked out 3 things that was wrong with it, and I was like, whoa, cool. So fixed it right up, closed that deal, money in the bank. That really just empowered me that I don't have to be an expert yet. I don't have to be an expert yet on everything, that I can delegate it, remember, to people that are, right? And, I trusted my mentor. And another really good story that I think is just really important to know about mentors. I was going to do a mailer of 12,242. And then I'm going to tell you the last one, which is really important. Number 10, I'm going to tell you the last one. But I was going to do a mailer of 12,242 mailers to this one county. Now, if you're adding that up, that's like around $7,000 in marketing, right? And a lot of risk, okay? And so I was getting ready to press the big red button. on that mailer. And I thought to myself, I was like, I pretty much know how much I'm going to get accepted. I pretty much know my price points. I pretty much know who my buyer is going to be. But let me just make sure. This is the biggest mailer I've ever done in one county. Let me just make sure. So had a call with my mentor. We were on Zoom. We were going over all the stats. We were going over the Google Earth. And the people that are in the coaching program, you might know more about this, right? Going over the land watch and going over the sales inventory. We were literally going over everything. Boom, 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 boom. And the call lasted for an hour, but literally in the first 20 minutes, I already had all my answers. What he said was, he's like, David, again, he said, you're going to do 3 things wrong. As a matter of fact, that's legitimately he did. And he said, you're going to do 3 things wrong. It's going to take you 6 months to do this. No. And I said, what do you think I should do? And he goes, you see this little area right here, just north of the airport, where these little things are all bubbled up and everything like that? I said, yeah. He said, judging by the numbers, this is the best place to mail in this whole county. Do that first and see how it goes. Do it first, see how it goes. And then mail the 12,000 if you want, go right ahead. But do that first and just see how it goes. There were 650 leads there. I was disappointed. I was like, oh man, I'm not a big baller. I want to be the big man on campus. I want to be the champ, I want to be like Mike Smyer and Jack Bosch and Aaron Williams, So he goes, I'm like, all right. So I mailed it. Guess what happened? I got 6 deals and I made $40,000 from those 6 deals. Okay. So those 6 deals out of 650 letters, that was literally like 111 mailers per deal. Would you like that? That's like $60. Would you like that? Would you like a deal every $60? Yeah, I do. Right? If you're driving around, raise your hand if you would like a deal every $60, right? That's amazing. So that really just kind of changed my perspective a lot too, in empowering the mentors that I work with and just trusting them on what they're good at and what they're great at, So great. So number 10, I've talked about this a little bit before. Number 10, we're closing it out. We're closing the loop on the top 10 methods of scaling your business in 2021 with land. What is it? I need it. I'm telling you, you should probably do this first. Because it's going to show you what you're spending your time on, what you're not spending your time on. You need a whiteboard to bubble chart out your business. Okay? And I just seen somebody here. He went to my office, amazing man. One thing that he actually saw was how my business is actually bubble charted out. And I can visualize who's delegating this task, who's responsible for this task, and how long does this task actually take. So now you can take this task and you can create timers for this task, and you can say, hey, listen, this thing should be done by now. This only takes 24 hours, or this takes 3 days, or it takes 2 hours, right? Super important, okay? And now you have power in your business of transparency, okay? If you don't have the power of transparency in your business, you're legitimately behind the 8 ball. You're in bad position. And so right now we're talking about scaling. And so all of these tools, I can't have a business, like I can't have a legitimate scaled business without it. Like you need it. Okay. So I really thought long and hard on what you need, not just about what you want, but what do you actually need in 2021? And, we talked about them today. So I want you to rewind them if you didn't get them, and I want you to write them down, and I want you to implement them. And probably the whiteboarding bubble diagram for your business, I would probably say should probably be number 1. Because if you want to scale, you're going to have to make more money and faster money, okay? And if you don't have transparency, if you don't have a flow chart, if you don't have a diagram, if you don't have delegation, you don't have systems and tools and software, and you actually don't have these programs built out for you, it's going to take you longer and it's going to cost you more money, and it's bad position. So that's not scaling, right? That's just dangerous, right? And so great. So I really loved putting this together. This was an amazing opportunity for me. I want you to learn from this. I want you to put this into action today. 2021 is really, really different, right? 2021, title agents are working from home. Abstract offices are working from home. There's even people in the courthouse working from home. Lawyers are working from home. Okay? This all needs technology. This all needs a platform and program and systems. If you're going to be working from home and you're not at the office and you don't have everything there, you got to put it in the cloud. So everything I just said, except for the whiteboard, is all in the cloud. Yep. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, everything is digital, except for talking to your mentor. Well, you can talk to your mentor in Messenger. Okay. So yeah, that was amazing. So that was really cool. I really appreciate your time on that. In the masterclass coming up, I'm making sure of this. This is an absolute obsession of mine, because we're actually going to be talking about this in the masterclass. So if you're listening to this right now, you're going to get a link for the masterclass. You can sign up. And yes, it's going to be free. Are there going to be people teaching me how to do this for free? Yes. Is it going to be all week long? Yes. Okay. Are you going to be able to have a concierge during this whole program? Yes. Are you going to be able to ask questions about everything along the way? Yes. Okay. So this is really cool. So, but yeah, that's it for me. I wanted to talk about scaling your business, the top 10 foundational methods that are just the most important in scaling your business. Let's turn that hobby into a business. Let's get to the next step. Let's start making more money, faster money. And these top 10 methods is exactly how you're going to do that. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time. And it was really amazing just to give back to the group and to the podcast listeners out there. This was incredible. Do this today in 2021. All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.